Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fizel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for finding us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast, thenewscasters.com, and don't forget the radio, icradio.media. Thank you so much for being with us every day, Monday through Friday, from 1 to 3 p.m. Central, as I get to ride on. It is Central Time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's central for you folks who live up north and out
Or in
west and out
Georgia.
east. Yeah, absolutely. But we do definitely appreciate you listening to us every single day. Oh, by the way, if you have ideas for shows or you just want me to do a little research, I was the geek in school, still the geek. And I love research. I love hanging out in libraries. And so just send any ideas you have, and I'll be glad to go ahead and do some research for you. Absolutely, I will. I have a good friend with me right now, and I love what she does. Her name is Heather Darbo, and she is with, I can never remember the name. You are with Dog Love. When you're friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Dog Love. And so let's talk about that. We've got a lot of new listeners and viewers right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just found out through Abundant Television and through Amazon Fire.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So what is Dog Love?
So, dog love is pretty much what it says. It's a love of dogs, and really a love of all animals. The company was started to I'm a veterinary nurse. I've been doing this for over 25 years, and I've kind of wanted to give my services back to the community.
Mm-hmm.
So my dog love is LLC is we do pet sitting, we do dog walking, and we have a pet taxi service.
Oh, okay.
So lately the pet taxi service has very much been utilized. I've had clients call me and their family members are sick. They can't get to the vet. We have an appointment. I can't even load my dog up. He's so heavy. And
that would be mine. He's almost 100 pounds.
So I've been able to take clients' pets to the vet clinic, have them checked up. We can go back for the follow-up. I'm there to be a liaison between them and their veterinarian and the pet. So that's been really cool as a service that I was providing, where I do. Also, we have a nonprofit foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's called the Dog Love Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And I was transporting dogs to Wisconsin. I was transporting dogs to New Jersey. And there is a need for that. But I found that I'm helping a big community where I wanted to focus on our community.
Mm-hmm.
And that brought my heart back to here. That brought the love back to our community. And this pet transporting, our local taxi service, is really exciting for me because I'm able to help people and where they may not have been able to get their dogs to the vet clinic before.
And that's extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But I wanted to talk to you because a lot like my dog. I mean, he is 70-something years old in animal and human years.
Right.
And he's getting a little bit on the lazy side. And sometimes I think that's hurting his digestive system.
Okay.
Do you have any ideas for that, how I can help him?
Lazy side, explain a little bit more about that. What do you
Well,
mean?
he used to run around the yard all the time at netting.
Okay.
And, just chasing birds and stuff like that. He likes to rest a lot. He's happy.
Okay.
And I don't think he's sick or anything like that. He's just getting older.
And so how many, so 70 in people years, he's what?
He's
7?
Yeah, he's somewhere about 7
And
or
he's a
8
big
years
dog.
old. He's a big boy.
So,
I'm going to say he weighs at least 80 pounds.
Well, you can think about maybe digestion some, but when a dog is less active, maybe think also about arthritis.
Oh, well, he doesn't act like he's hurting anyone.
No, because they don't.
Doesn't let him, will they?
So if they're less active, you may find that there's some joint things going on. A diet change could be something you add omega-3 and 6s, so fish oil, just like for us. You can even add just normal stuff like glucosamine, or you're into natural stuff, so turmeric, boswellia.
We take turmeric every morning.
Yep. So a lot of those natural supplements are good. These older dogs, a lot of it is just like people. Why does a person not be active? It hurts, right? So now your elder parents or your grandparents don't want to get up and walk. So where are they at? They're on the couch. What happens when we're on the couch? Our muscles atrophy. Our joints get stiffer. I mean, that's why we do yoga, just to stretch. Yoga is, some people think of yoga as some kind of blah, blah, hippie thing. It's actually
You can be
stretching.
sore doing yoga.
Oh,
I mean, you actually, you can, because a friend of mine said, and she's a fitness instructor,
yeah.
and so she got me into it, and I like stretching exercise. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what cats do, right? Cats want to stretch
Yes.
and all this kind of stuff. And
Yes.
she said, not only you're starting out, so only do 5 of these or whatever. And I
Yeah.
said, are you kidding me? I'm a very active person. And I said, she know what she's talking about. I did 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and it took a day, but I was so sore just from stretching.
Yeah. 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 So I think, like you're saying, is I think of when they get older, it's a lot of joints. So what I've done with my dogs is I've added, well, I do more walks because if I didn't get up and walk, I can tell you right now, my 15-year-old would sleep all day long. But he knows when I get up and I'm going to the car, he's like, I'm going to get in the car and we'll do just maybe half a mile,
Uh-huh.
but it keeps everything's moving, everything's moving. CBD, I know we might have talked about CBD
Yeah.
before,
Uh-huh.
but CBD is a great product for arthritis, anxiety. There's a lot of things that CBD is good for, but I love it for my dog's anxiety and
That's a great
overall
idea.
comfort.
That is a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
So when I have this girl here on the show, it's really, really important. Now let's talk about the area you cover, because I'm gonna get a little bit more into dog health.
Okay.
But what areas do you cover?
I'm located in Gadsden, and I do about a 20-mile radius around Gadsden. So I go out to Center. I'll go out to Center. Piedmont is probably my furthest that way. I go out to South Side, Rainbow City, everything, all the local areas around here. The furthest I've gone is probably that way. Piedmont is the furthest that way, but I don't know if you guys have been to Piedmont, but it's a beautiful little town.
Oh, it's a gorgeous place. I'm from Anniston
Okay.
originally, so it's just a hop, skip, and a jump up there to Piedmont. It's a beautiful area. Hey, everybody out there. So there's a gentleman, Mr. Bennett, with the Bennett Lumber Company.
Okay.
And he was one of my customers for years.
Yeah.
When I was in the cell phone business.
Yeah, and there's a lot of nature trails out there in that area. And what's in Anniston and Ohatchee area, like you've got what trails do you have up there? The campground. It's not the Talladega yet. Is it the Talladega?
Well, the Talladega out in there has a lot of. It's just all over the place. Oxford Lake.
I swear,
Oh my goodness! I think one time around, when you walk around it, is a mile. So when I was living in Oxford and had a business down there, I would just walk, a couple of miles around there.
I feel so fortunate to be in this community. Like, I grew up here, but when you're a kid, you're doing kid stuff. And every day when I wake up and I see the mountains and I see the sunrise, I'm just like so thankful for each day. It's so beautiful around here.
And Gadsden is gorgeous too. And I wanted to mention, we're at the Gadsden Mall, by the way. And Kaylee is an absolute awesome lady. She was at 100% capacity at Christmas, and she's taking a job promotion. And I said, "No, I'm going to be holding on to you. You can't move now. You're going to have to stay here in Gadsden." But if you're looking to operate a business, and maybe it's your first time around, or you're just looking for an expansion, she has been in retail for years. I don't know if she's ever done anything but retail, except management of the small.
That's her niche.
Well, it is, and she's going to know the pitfalls, that you could encounter, and she's going to be able to help you.
Yeah.
So, and she's a very helpful person, so you'll love Kaylee. Kaylee Johnson, just call her at the mall if you're interested in doing something. Mother's Day's coming up.
Yep.
So you might want to think about Mother's Day. Summertime. Kids going to school, or being home, not going to school, but think about that. So check out the Gadsden Mall. But I wanted to talk a little bit too about the health of animals and their food. So this is what I was told, and a little bit of research I did. And that, there's dry dog food you can buy, and then there's wet dog food you can buy. So I was told that even the worst off-brand wet food is better than the dry. What's your opinion on that?
It's true. Because of the processed. And I think I've mentioned before, Dr. Karen Becker. I was an instructor for a veterinary program, and one of the classes I taught was nutrition. And so when you're an instructor and with YouTube, and you're also having to engage these young minds, they love YouTube. So I started YouTubing videos, and the next thing I know, I watched this one video, and if I find it, I'll send you the link, where she actually goes through all the food from the worst to the best. And she also explained that, and there's no judgment, because the best may be out of our budget, because that's cook, and that's also out of your time frame. You're talking about cooking for your food, buying natural, organic. You've got to be able to do for yourself and your dog. And but then she also showed that as you go up this grade, even if you improve just a little bit and balance it out, you're doing so much better for your pet's nutrition. So kibble was created about 100 years ago. And it was with the industry of all other things.
Kibble like kibbles and bits?
Kibble food.
Okay.
Dry food.
Oh, okay.
I saw
That's
kibble.
what you call it. Kibble. Okay.
Kibbles are
My
dry
kibbles
food. And so it was processed. It was made about 100 years ago. And before that, we fed our dogs what we were eating. And we weren't eating pizza 100 years ago. So that makes a big difference. So people say don't feed your dog people food because what we're eating is so bad.
That means I go to Papa John's, get pizza, and then feed it to my dog. Probably not a good thing.
No. But back then we would eat vegetables.
Beans,
yes. So whatever was left,
carrots.
you tossed it to the dog, and then the dogs went out and hunted, and they did different things like that. So after the kibble or the dry processed food was created, that since then has we seen increased with cancer, diabetes.
Like our food.
You follow Dr. Karen Becker, and Rodney Habib is her liaison. They kind of are one, but they have a book out there called The Forever Dog. You read this book, it's all about dog nutrition, about that. You're going to change your nutrition. Because if you are realizing the studies that are done out there, a lot of human studies, and eating biologically appropriate food. So when I say biologically appropriate, what does a canine eat in the wild? And they're more omnivorous. So you're seeing that they would eat vegetables and fruit and meat. But then you look at the cat, what's their biologically appropriate food? Cats do not eat carbohydrates.
Never noticed that.
And when you get a nutrition, and this is the thing, again, when I talk about nutrition in animals, it goes all back to humans. Look at your labels, right? Look at your labels.
If I can't pronounce it, I'm not buying it.
You look at a cat food bag right now, and the first ingredients is a carbohydrate. So weight gain, diabetes, kidney failure, all the things.
I noticed my cat Greenleaf's put on some weight.
And then again, I'm speaking of the best scenario. Do I feed my cat kibble? Yeah, I do. But then I also have a canned food, because you're saying the canned food is better. So I try to give it that moisture, because of the liquids and all that. So I spoil her where that's her primary diet, and I just keep kibble so that when she's want a snack, she goes and eats kibble, but she eats mainly canned food.
Well, let me ask this question, because I didn't like the ingredients on the cat food, the wet food. I call it the wet food. Is that proper? Okay. So I read the ingredients. I wasn't happy. And so I started just buying tuna.
Yep.
And Greenleaf loves it. Now he loves his dry food too.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question. So is tuna, should I get the water packed or should I get the oil packed?
Probably water.
Okay, well, good. I did that right.
And that's what I think people want to improve their animals' nutrition. So they say, let's feed our cat tuna. Well, just tuna is not enough.
Yeah.
So then you got to think of it. You got to think of the whole picture. There's different nutrients and vitamins that they have to have. Taurine, it has to be in there, and it's on there. All USDA.
So what's taurine?
Taurine is a type of vitamin that cats have to have, and it's on there. I mean, any cat product you have is required. Now, AFCO. Now I can't remember what it stands for, but it says on their label it's a dog food thing. AFCO, American food, something. But it requires that cat food has taurine in it, because they know taurine has to be reported with cats. So you'll be getting it. But like, say you're making a homemade diet, then you got to make sure you get taurine to add into it. So that's where people are really, the high end, where Dr. Becker talks about, is making your own food. So again, a dog, you're not just going to feed boiled chicken, which people sometimes do, because they're like, I want to give my dog chicken and what he needs.
Well, I heard it's actually cheaper. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know. But dog food and cat food has really went up in cost. So I could buy like even chicken breast. I can do that and cook that up and give it to them. That's what and Greenleaf loves turkey.
Yeah.
And you can buy a turkey, like a turkey, and cook the turkey And that's cheaper than actually buying the dog and the cat food.
Yeah, and you can a lot of meat they talk about is organ meat. So buying organ meat and feeding organ meat to your animals is really
So that's
good.
what I freak out about.
I know.
I'm looking at the can thinking, I
Yeah.
wonder what organ meat that has in it.
Yeah, and organ meat's good. Heart, liver, lung, all that. A local person that I'll shout out to is they're in Oxford. Ultimate Mutt Bakery.
Oh.
She is on the main street in Oxford. She's got a store, a brick and mortar, and she makes homemade biscuits, dog treats. She also sells freeze dried different pig ears, esophaguses. I mean, all this stuff I'm talking about, and she gets it locally from the processing place.
Local farmer,
Yes.
I mean, not grain fed, but grass fed.
Usually, you have to talk to her, but it's definitely local farmers. So when they process the pig and the ears are going to be thrown away, she takes them and smokes them. Yeah, so you're not getting this product from China. You're getting it from her
Right here.
kitchen.
Support your local farmer anyway.
Yes, Ultimate
That's what
Mutt
we do. We buy
Bakery.
our meat from a local farmer.
Yeah,
And they're all grass fed.
yeah, and she does consulting too. So us talking about nutrition is just this much what
We
we're
need to
talking
get her on
about.
the show too.
Yo,
She
you
needs to
do.
come with you.
Okay,
Someday. We'll just all three of us talk it out.
we'll be nutrition out.
That's good because I'm concerned with my pets.
Yeah.
I'm concerned with their diet just like
Yeah.
I am mine. But I will say this, my husband and I used to eat out every meal almost because we worked all the time. We thought we didn't have time. I found an easier way. I had to wait in line, okay, at a drive-through or whatever. And I have lost weight. Not even being on a diet. I've lost weight by cooking my own food.
Yeah.
I use the freezer a lot.
Okay.
I can stuff.
Yep.
And freeze and freeze dry and all that kind of stuff. So, and it's actually better for it. I feel healthier.
Mm-hmm.
I have more energy.
Mhm.
But I just saw this little drop in activity with Buddy, my dog.
Yeah, I think thinking about his overall joint. First, go there. And I always recommend. I always follow up with recommending seeing your veterinarian before you do a lot of drastic changes because a veterinarian is going to go in there and palpate the elbows and do shoulder moves, and he'll be able to pinpoint something.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, you can still say, okay, they're older. You know that there's some joint discomfort. But then they can, a lot of veterinarians may not be up on the whole nutrition homeopathic way, but you want to either do blood work, make sure if you're going to add something, make sure our kidneys are normal, make sure our liver is normal. Let's don't add all this supplement without knowing where we are at baseline.
Especially all at the same time, slamming it at him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and kind of let him get used to the taste.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I do that for myself. It's like I want to know where my liver values are before I start taking liver supplements because then I can say, okay, it's helping, it's not helping, or changing something in my diet, you know. So having your vet do just some blood work, and we are getting that way with human medicine, is that instead of going to the doctor and saying, listening and saying, okay, we got to do what you tell me to do, I'm now going, I want this blood work done, I want that. And I use Quest Lab. I get emails from Quest Lab saying, you can run this panel, you can run this panel, you can run this panel. And I'm like, I can pick the panels I want. So you should go to your vet and do the same thing. It's going to be push and a shove a little bit with some vets, but the overall reason that we're all doing that is so that we empower ourselves to take care of ourselves and our animals.
Well, I'm looking for a good veterinarian that kind of looks at the homeopathic way anyway, you know, and how, you know, like because I'm a nutritionist myself, and so I have my own garden with herbs and all those things. Everybody knows I've got asthma. And I have to tell you, I had to have cough drops and stuff around. I never knew I was going to get an asthma attack. So for my own self, ginger root, I'm living by it. And it costs basically nothing, so I'm not having to use the inhaler anymore. None of that. So I'm walking around with an inhaler all the time. And if Phil and I went somewhere, I would look at my person, I just almost panicked saying, my inhaler's not in here. My inhaler's not. I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Oh,
so just make a tea out of it. That's all you have to do.
And you can make teas. You can make, I mean, if you really get into this, and I would love to. You have to
all in it.
Making tinctures, making teas.
I'm doing that.
Are you?
I'm making tinctures.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and that's another thing I wanted to ask you because there's so many different, I mean, I don't know what you can give a dog. or a cat or anything like that. And I know it would be not human dose, whatever you give them, it would be a small amount. So I use comfrey leaf, and I use comfrey for everything.
Okay.
I use it for like I always have a Band-Aid with every time you see me. I've cut something.
You got to stop your Band-Aid.
I must. I'm selling these little Band-Aids. And so when I get cut or anything like that, I put comfrey on me.
Okay.
And it's an herb, and it grows. It has this huge tap root, huge.
Neat.
And so I found that you plant it close to your fruit trees.
Okay.
And what it does is it pulls nutrition up from the earth because it has such a long tap root, which also helps your fruit trees.
Oh.
Even with the freeze, we've got peaches on the tree.
Oh, so cool.
Even with the freeze.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to see a shift in all this because nobody really wants to just take a pill to fix something and then have to take another pill for the side effects of that pill. And we're going to do the same thing with our pets, You're
going to laugh at this. So in my mother and my relationship, I'm the mother, she's the daughter. It's been this way since we were born. I've always been the mother. So I had some of my herbs out. And so I'm trying to get her to take things like the ginkgo tree.
Yeah.
So we got a ginkgo tree. And so I'm drying the leaves and making teas and tinctures and stuff out of that.
Neat.
So I said, I want you to start taking this, Mother, a drop of this every day, a tincture. Now, if you told her it had alcohol in it, don't tell her. She'd never take it. So what you do is you just say, take this, And so it's just a little dropper, which is probably about a half teaspoon or something like that I get her to take. And you can start to see an improvement.
Nice.
So, and then you can do it in oil too. Olive oil is all I would use, or any kind of carrier oil like that. Don't use veggie oil, or don't use like hog fat or anything like that.
Okay.
Now for my soaps, I do use cow fat, the tallow, so it's really good for your skin too. But there's so many things I'm thinking we use for our bodies, and I can tell the difference. And so I'm just wondering how that can apply to our animals. I don't want to do anything like do it all at one time or anything like that, but just one thing at a time and see what happens.
There's a lot.
Well, I worry about my dog's digestive. So I know he's not going potty as often as he used to.
Because I trust Dr. Becker, she is part of Mercola. You can get supplements from Mercola Company, which is Dr. Mercola, who is on the homeopathic side with humans. So Dr. Becker is the animal side with that. You can go online, you can order supplements for your dogs and cats, and you can read about it, you can see what's in it. But I have added a digestive enzyme to my dog's nutrition.
Okay. So
every day they get a scoop of this digestive enzyme. I used to get probiotics, but again, it's always what your budget is, So I'm like, and I always focus on nutrition. So if I'm going to feed them more, I do a freeze-dried food. So it's a powder and you mix it up with water. So if I have that, and then the digestive enzyme, that seems to work for my dogs. And if I'm in a bind, I'll add some kibble. Kibble's just adding carbs, and it's just adding it. It's like a filler so that they're not as hungry. But I'll know immediately. My dog Chip, who's 15, he has had episodes where he would not move for a day, and it was when I was on the kibble. I take him off the kibble, he perks right back up.
Okay, that's where we're going to start. We're going to start right there. Because he loves kibbles and bits. He loves it, and he likes the one that's kind of it's soft on the inside of it.
Yeah,
he loves that. So maybe he's just eating too much.
Well, it's of course you like it because it's got all the fillers and the stuff in it. It's like eating the Snickers. It's like M&M. Yes. And
it's nothing but filler.
Yeah. So I'm always on, and I am on we all have our fixed income. I mean, we all do. No matter how much you make, from paycheck to paycheck, you have certain things that you have to buy.
Right.
So my first focus is nutrition. But if I'm at the point where I have to pay an extra bill because my car broke, then that month I may have to fill in a little bit with the kibble. So I kind of just balance it out. But my 100% goal is for the dogs is nutrition. So
right now, and to meet within that, a lot of us are in the, because it's a bad economy. Yeah. Prices went up on everything. So you just maybe balance it first and then just gradually get away from it. You'll probably see much more or less visits to the veterinarian when that happens.
My dog's 15 years old, and all my other dogs unfortunately passed away at 15. And I look at him, and I'm like,
You ain't going nowhere.
No. He's been the one I've learned from. I've learned all of their stuff, and I'm like, okay, we're going to get you to go till at least 20. He's going to make it till at least 20.
I hope so. I really do. Let's go ahead and head to a commercial break.
Sure
And we'll be
thing.
right back in just a minute. Can you believe half the show's already done?
Oh, I love it.
Panic fly.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors, and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.
Good afternoon, we're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. And we're talking the truth right here, because we want to know about our pets. They're little fur babies, you know.
Yes.
In fact, my son sometimes says, "Do you think more of Buddy than you do of me?"
I've heard that before. Can we stop talking dog? I'm like, no, I'm not.
Because they are truly your best friends.
Yes.
And they know your emotions.
They do. They do. I mean, there's studies out there on this. And I wish I would keep this in my brain of the year, like a nerd, you talk about being nerdy. If I could do the year, the study, and here's the publication, you go look at it. But they did studies with MRIs. So they first trained the dog with positive reinforcement, how to stay still in an MRI, which you can imagine, but you can do a lot with positive reinforcement. So they trained the dog to stay still in the MRI. And then they did the MRI where they did different sounds, noises, tones, and how their brain responded to different tones. And they saw how they responded with different, yells and stuff like that. And I know when I'm frustrated, because your dogs know you. They have adapted to you. You know that. But my dog, if I'm like, can we not do this? They're all like, what did we do? And I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'm frustrated. And I've always talked to my dogs like humans.
I talk to plants like that too.
Okay.
Am I crazy or
No, I think that, like you said, they understand.
touch?
Okay.
With a plant. Okay, so I've got
explain that.
hundreds of plants, and so I actually bought 4 lavender plants from a friend of mine. Lookout Lavender, close to Mentone, out that way. And so I bought 4 plants from her last year, and she said, "Why do you keep buying the plants? All you got to do is just propagate them." So I thought, I'm going to do 120 of them. 4 of them will probably live. I'll be very happy. All 120 of them will live.
Oh, I am so excited.
So now I've got my little lavender farm. You got to come out to the farm.
I have
to.
to.
I want you to see it.
I want a lavender. I want to start going 120 lavender
Oh my
plants.
gosh, you can do. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I'm just telling you, I'm not that talented, but I did exactly what she said to do.
Okay.
And then I took the classes on the Master Gardeners last year, so through Auburn University, and I'm still going to school, so I
Of
can't
course.
stop.
Never stop.
It keeps you younger. Okay,
Yeah.
It keeps you focused too. But anyway, so I did all these little plants. I did rosemary. I just started just going crazy, just propagating stuff. And never. I get this about plant one time.
Yes.
And
Yes.
but I'm thinking, because I can't say budget's a problem now, because I can get those things for Buddy,
Yeah.
for my dog.
Yeah.
And I need to experiment a little bit.
Yeah. And talking about supplements and stuff like that, I do think that there's like the Forever Dog, because Dr. Becker and Rodney Habib, their book is not just their opinion. It is all scientifically based. And their next book, they just wrote another book, that's the cookbook for the Forever Dog.
Okay.
So that might be an interesting one where you get, what is it called? I can't remember the name of that one, the Forever Dog. If you look up the Forever Dog, it'll be listed with that, but it's a cookbook. So you're talking about cooking with things and
you
adding
can come to the
stuff.
farm. You and I can cook dog stuff.
We're doing
Let's
this.
do it.
Yes.
Let's do it. Okay. So, I'll get you set up. You got to come to the farm.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna have a
If we
blast.
had- if
we'll
we-
need a 2-hour
And
show for that.
if we had Jennifer from Ultimate Mutt Bakery, she'd be in there telling us exactly what to add. I mean, she does amazing. We're gonna start our own cook show.
That's taking care of our animals.
Yeah.
And like we mentioned before we went into a break, they know our emotions.
Yes.
Like we had a close death in the family.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't say a word. I just went out there we fed Buddy and whatever. And he just had this mellow tone to him. He knew something was up.
Well, that's why they're our companions. That's why they're our best friends. That's why we've domesticated them, because they are so in tune with us. Now, there's debate. We're not going to humanize them. They're not humans, but they're very emotional beings, just like we are. So that's what's so special about them, and why having a dog. Getting a dog, and what people do is they don't spend the time to work on their behavior, and then they say they have bad behavior, when all it is us spending time with them and teaching them how to be good, just like a child, good behaviors.
Yes.
And then it doesn't work out, so let's put them in a 10x10 or a 6x6 pen in the backyard for the rest of their lives.
Mhm.
That's not even a life.
Well, let me ask you this question, okay? Because dogs are protective, and some are a little more protective than others. Because Buddy's a part German Shepherd and part Lab,
Okay.
and I mean he got the mix in him. I mean he would kill for us. I really do think he really would. And But he knows people who likes animals and people who
Oh
don't.
yeah, isn't that crazy how they know that? I've
Representative
seen it.
Jenny Shaver, she came to the house yesterday. She always likes to come to the farm. And so she's our state representative. She and I are really good friends. And so she comes to the house and Buddy just looks at her and lays down and lets her, and
Yeah.
I mean, they know people and she loves animals.
Yeah.
I mean, she has dogs and horses and just whatever, you know. And I said, this is unusual that he would do that. Usually he's barking at people who come. And we have to put him, there's a little pen we put him in when company's coming over because I'm afraid he's going to hurt somebody. I mean, I don't want to, him killed or something because he bit somebody because he thinks he's protecting us.
Yeah.
So we did that, but we forgot and left him out this time.
Okay.
And he just walked up to her, sniffed her, you know how they do.
Yeah.
And then he just laid down like that. And she started rubbing his. I said, this is totally unusual. Vote for Jenny, okay? She must be a good person.
A dog person. Exactly.
Because dogs know.
Yes, yes. And then they also, you're talking about the emotion part of it. Do you think that some of that protectiveness is they're feeding off your emotions?
Could be, because I have a crazy family member who lives right down the road, and he does look in that direction and stare sometimes and barks.
Yeah.
And he's never met her. I mean, so I mean, really. So you have to wonder about it. And Phil noticed that, and he said, "If you notice how he looks out that way and barks a lot, and there won't even be anybody outside. He just does that."
Yeah, they read off our emotions. Even I've had with a lot of the world right now being rescue dogs, we don't know their past history. Mm-hmm. So if they were ever in a position where they had to protect an area, like a lot of people put dogs on chains to be guard dogs, man. And that's their perimeter. And
there are people in my area who will put chains on a dog without even a collar.
Yeah.
And I've seen a collar, hair grown to it, skin grown to it. That hurts my heart.
I took that class, the animal control class training, and I didn't sleep.
That was hard.
Yeah. Some things about what they've done with dogs. But these dogs, I even had a dog that I had behavioral and I went to a trainer and they were saying that you need to explain when they say it's always simple, right? And I'm like I'm looking at the trainer going, I need to tell my dog this. Yeah. You need to explain to your dog that he doesn't have to protect you anymore. That's not his job. His job in his previous life or previous journey might have been have to protect something or do something. So now it's like you have to almost be, and I think you may be saying, but I'm more confident because I'm like, I'm in charge. I'm okay. It's okay. So sometimes, I've had dogs where it's just reinforcing that, being like, when they get all, I'm like, no, it's okay. It's okay. There's nothing to be scared of. And some of it's fear-based.
I think it's snakes or something, because I would take, before we have now like good blackberries, what I mean by that is they're great old big ones and there's no thorns. But before that, I would go, because I love blackberries so much it was worth the scratches. It was worth it. So I would go out we got 38 acres. So I would go out in the middle of that 38 acres and pick blackberries, and my husband screaming at me saying there's snakes out there. Do you know I've never seen a snake out there? Never. He always runs ahead of me.
Yeah.
And I think he scares them off or something.
Yeah.
So I think that they sense a danger that can happen.
Yeah.
And we have seen wolves out there. Mm-hmm.
Wolves.
Whoa.
I didn't even know wolves are around here. Oh, wow.
Oh, in Fort Payne have been bears.
Well, yeah, I knew black bears were coming down and things like that, which is super cool. And I knew there were cougars.
I like them at a distance.
And I have seen in our
probably goes to shakes his hand.
I wasn't around bears in Alabama. They had gone for the most part, but I moved up to Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, there are black bears. So I was trained, by my partner at the time, is that they're more scared of you than they are of them. And I was just like, I hope so. You go through the woods going, hey bear, and the dogs have to have jingles on them because that's where you don't want to spook a bear. You don't want to come up with them not knowing you're there. Then they make it protective.
Okay.
Or if they have a baby, they'll get protective. So if they know you're coming, they know you're coming, hey bear, and a jingle or something like that, then they're going to go phew out of the way. But I didn't.
Snakes are, I think.
Yeah. And if you know where,
Now, my mother has seen snakes up there, and my husband has seen snakes, but I've
you've
never
never seen snakes. Is a dog always with you, though, you said?
Yeah. He hangs all the time.
Yeah. I love it.
Little dog hangs. Okay, let's talk a little bit, because we're not even talking about dog love. We're talking about everything else, which is good.
It's all incorporated. It's all animals.
all animals.
Because dog love, what we're doing now, just a little tidbit, is I'm doing a new curriculum. I've started teaching. I take that knowledge of my teaching. I love to teach. I've got a curriculum that's right now. It's a 12-week curriculum for after-school programs with pre-K.
Oh, that's a grand idea.
Yeah, and we're going to do a summer program. It's through the YMCA. This program is through the YMCA and the University of Alabama of Gadsden. And the summer program is the same, but I'm going to be networking with all kinds of schools. And we start off and we talk about animals. And so what's a bird? What's a reptile? What's an amphibian? And now we're on mammals. We're going to go from wild mammals to domestic mammals to veterinary medicine. So these kids are learning.
Can I go?
Yeah. We're making a pinata.
A kid at heart.
A frog pinata right now. But yeah, you're talking about, we're getting off track, but it all is about the love of animals. And if you respect your environment, your plants, your animals, you're going to respect your neighbor, you're going to respect yourself. So that's where dog love, it says dog love, but it incorporates love for all. It really does. So
it's okay. And I know your heart's all in this. I really do. So let's talk about dogs that may be strays.
Yes.
How do we handle that? Because I want to take every dog in, every cat in. I can't do that.
Yeah. I have my website. My website is doglovellc.net, and I do a blog. And I have a blog that I'm working on right now because I want to get the right information. But it pretty much is like, what do you do if you find a stray dog? Because my blog, and I'll do a spoiler alert a little bit, but we had a dog roaming in our town, and it was roaming for a week, and the neighbors didn't know who it belonged to, and a woman in the community said, well, this dog, his collar is tight, it looks skinny, it needs a home, and nobody's claiming it. It's been here for a week. So she took the dog, took it to the vet. There's no microchip. There's no tags. She got it vaccinated. She has a fenced-in backyard. She was walking the dog. She was about to get it neutered. All of a sudden, somebody drove up in a car, jumped out of their car and said, "Is that your dog?" And she's like, what's the question here? She goes, "Is that your dog?" And she's like, "Well, it was roaming around the neighborhood. No, that's my dog. It got out last night." And she's like, "No, it's been in this neighborhood for a week. And I have taken this dog to the vet. It didn't have a microchip." And she says, and of course the woman who saved the dog is like leery of this woman who's attacking her out of her car. So she goes, "Show me a picture to prove this is your dog." The woman didn't have a picture on her camera. So she's like,
everybody who has a dog has a picture on the camera of their dog.
Okay.
There's something cute.
Exactly. So the woman couldn't show a picture of her dog. Then she sat there and contacted her son. Her son had a picture of the dog, showed the picture of the dog to the woman, and the woman was like, "What do you do? Do you give the dog?" So she gave the dog back. And now I'm brokenhearted because this woman saved this dog, took care of this dog, and now it goes back.
A lot of money on this dog.
And she said the woman, of course, was like, "I don't care how much. I'm glad I helped it. It would have been neutered, which it needed to be neutered in if I had it another week." But that woman got her dog back. So what I'm looking into is Dustin. Why can't I think of last names?
Well, how did the dog react to this woman?
Yeah,
was it barking?
No, it was shying behind the woman.
That's it. That speaks volumes right there.
But what do you do? What do you do when somebody says? So it comes down legally, and this is where Dog Love Foundation, our nonprofit, we're a foundation where we're not taking it. You call me, "Can you take this dog? I can't have it anymore. I found some stray dogs. I can't take them, but let's find out what we can do with them." And so legally, this dog is property. Whose property is it now? Is it the woman who found the dog and has had it for so many days? Or is it the woman who has a picture of it but no veterinary record? Like, that's what I want to know to teach you.
If I were the judge, I'd say it belongs to the woman who's actually taking care of it.
Yeah, because I want to teach the community to say, if you find a dog, The best thing legally right now, which is the way I explain to people, is you need to take it to a shelter because the shelters are legally able to hold it for 7 days.
Okay.
And they do a 7-day hold where they post, they advertise, they do this. So after 7 days, nobody's claimed this dog, it is up for adoption. So you find a dog.
That's the process.
That's the legal best process is if you find a dog, take it to the shelter. And people don't want to take it to the shelter because they say they'll be euthanized. Well, what are you going to do if you leave them on the street? They're going to get hit by a car. If you take it to your house,
They starve to death. That'd be a slow death.
yeah, you may have 7 dogs already, and now you've got 8 dogs, and you can't feed 8 dogs, so those dogs are suffering. The Humane Society, not the Humane Society, it's these shelters. So it's the Etowah County Shelter, Cherokee County Shelter, Gadsden Shelter, Atala Shelter. Atala and Gadsden take their dogs to the Gadsden Humane Society. They have a contract, so they pay the Gadsden Humane Society to keep their dogs, and then the Gadsden Humane Society does a 7-day post, but it's not the Humane Society. So like if I took my dog just to ABC Rescue, they have no legal rights to keep those dogs for 7 days. They always say this is a 7-day hold, but it's not. It's not the process. So it's all where our government money goes. And that's, again, our foundation. Our foundation, the nonprofit, is going to work on going to Montgomery and changing things. It's not just going to be, let's take dogs in and ship them up to Wisconsin. We're going to get a lot of people involved. Well, I have to put a shout out to my sister.
Because I'm telling you what, she's in
animal?
politics, and she's a huge animal
Oh,
fan.
yeah, she came to your house and she loves dog. A dog
My
loved her.
dog, unusual now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I have to shout out to my sister, who is the CEO of the YMCA, and she has a natural.
And by the way, sister, I want to get you on the show.
Yeah, I didn't be here next. We'll do a group one of those. Maybe that's how we have to get her here. It's all 3 of us.
Yeah.
But she can go to Montgomery, and she's such a people person and understands the flow of communication, and she'll go up to Montgomery and she remembers names.
She knows how Montgomery works.
She knows how it works. And that's why she is so good in all nonprofits, because she can go when she was with the American Heart Association, she'd go up there and they'd be lobbying about e-cigarettes for kids, and she'd go up there and pull people off the legislator about this vote they're about to have to get it where kids cannot get e-cigarettes. She was up there with the YMCA. She was up there with a friend of ours who, for the American Heart Association, that had a heart problem, and they were going to change how we have emergency heart responses in high schools now. And she knows who to pull off, and they changed that bill. They even changed the name of it because of their support and their stories. And so anyway,
you can make a difference.
You
If
can.
you're passionate enough about an issue, you
absolutely
can
can.
definitely make a difference.
And I have to be a little negative, but sitting on Facebook, sitting on Instagram and saying, don't take pictures of my dog. That's my dog roaming. Or what are we going to do with all these people? They shouldn't do this.
Well, I shouldn't be roaming. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Everything that
Actually,
happens
I'm
on
not sorry.
social media is not the place to change things.
Yeah.
Social media is a place that you can complain, but who's the one that's going to do something about it?
But the problem is the person complaining behind the keyboard won't complain to your face.
Never.
It's always behind that keyboard. You can be as tough as you want to be there.
Face to
Don't get me
face.
started.
I know. But that's how we have to make a change, is to change laws. And if you find a stray dog, the best thing to do is, even people are like, oh, I found this dog, I want to keep it. Well, somebody may be looking for it. And they're going to be, where they're going to be looking? At the shelters. They're going to be looking at the vet clinics. They're not going to be looking at your house. So posting it on, social media, posting it at vet clinic, going to the vet clinic, making sure it doesn't have a microchip, taking it to the shelters. And the shelters, people tell me right now, they'll say, well, the shelters are full. I'm like, well, there's no excuse for that. Our tax dollars pays for these shelters to hold these animals. If they are full, then we need to change something. And people may get upset about this, and it sucks, but euthanasia sometimes has to happen. And if we look at the whole picture and we complain that there's too much euthanasia, then let's fix why there's so many animals.
Right?
Exactly. Okay, we're euthanizing too many because we have too many. Why do we have too many? Let's fix that. Let's just all say this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Let's say, what can we change? What can we change? What can we change to make it all better? That's the only ways we got to make a change.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta. I mean, and think, if you think of nothing else, think about the disease that these animals could be bringing to your animal.
Oh, rabies. Number one thing I learned about that animal control class that I took
Mhm.
is that rabies is a zoonotic vector. And that was the number thing that we have. None of these, I can guarantee you, if nothing else, we
Mhm.
find these people, we take the dog, we take it to the shelter, somebody claims that they should at least get a rabies vaccine
Mhm.
because 90% of these dogs do not have rabies vaccines.
Mhm.
And you can get rabies and die from
Mhm.
it. Whatever.
My dog has had like every
It
shot
surprises
available.
me. I
As a
get,
matter of fact, oh, and this is another thing about dogs. They remember. Like Buddy remembers getting a shot from the veterinarian. He remembers that. So he'll be just having a good old time or going down 75 like this. He knows where the road is, where you
Oh,
turn to
no.
the road, and he will start acting up. I mean,
like what?
well, he'll just start barking like this and looking and trying to hide it, and then he doesn't want to get out. I'm telling you, because the doctor, the veterinarian's office is not on 75. You have to take another little road to get to the veterinarian's office. The second you turn to the right, off 75 to go to the veterinarian's office, he starts.
Yeah. It's talking
And
about,
this
we can
guy's
just tell
a good
stories.
veterinarian.
Well, because it's just,
where you
I
get
get,
shot.
ow, I get a shot. Or, they do, I mean, who knows the last time I went there.
Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they do all of those things.
Yeah.
That's our next guest. She's probably trying to get in. Dan, if you're watching, you'll have to wait about 3 minutes. So, I mean, don't get me started on how people treat their animals.
I know.
Yeah.
And I think that we can talk about it, but we have to make a change. So the Dog Love Foundation is doing lots of things to make a change. We do have this summer, again, I'm talking about our curriculum of after school programs, but we are getting dogs and hopefully getting some volunteers that want to get their dogs certified to be reading to rescue dogs.
Oh.
So we go into libraries because it's been proven that kids who read to dogs learn how to read better because they're not judging them. And there's a couple nationwide programs that we're going to be getting with the foundation, and we're going to get certified. We're going to have our dogs certified, and they're going to go into, we got a program at Hoax Bluff Library, we have a program at the Asheville Library, and we're going to spread this out and within our community for this reading to rescue dogs. We're also trying to make a change where we're going to have an art show in February at the Gadsden Art Museum, and we are all about the human-animal bond. And showing that in art and education, and we're going to have, it's just all about education. We do all kinds. We're hoping to have more events that will raise money so that we can start changing things, because it does cost money.
About 2 minutes left in the segment. What if somebody just wants to donate and give you some money to help the process?
Yeah. My website, doglovellc.net, has a whole link for the foundation. And that on there talks about, because we do occasionally have I have dogs for adoption, but they're ones that wherever you called me and you have a dog that you want to rehome, I'll post it on Pet Finder, I'll post it on my website, it's up for adoption. But I'm not like a rescue with multiple dogs. So that's on there, fostering, volunteering, donating, being on a committee, because we have all these fundraisers we want to do. So if you want to be a committee, people call and they say, I can walk dogs. Well, we're not a rescue as per se having animals, boarded. We are a rescue to help the community find better options for their dogs and our roaming dogs and our homeless dogs. So you can donate by going to the website, and also just being really an active person with us, being on a committee, and helping us find sponsors and things that I'm not good at. I want people to help me raise money so that we can have spay and neuter clinics, that we can have these reading to rescue programs, because all these programs cost, there's just the upkeep to it, and having volunteers and just being following our mission to make a change in the community with a passion of helping all lives. And that's our mission, is not just dog love dogs, all lives, humans, dogs, cats, animals. It's just, we have to make a change.
Yeah, we have to show the love, dog love, absolutely. Thank you so much for being on the show. It's
Always.
Like flies by. And thank you so much for watching. My name is Donna. I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, found on IAC Radio. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast now, thenewscasters.com. And send emails. I love being your geek. I love it. So send those emails, Donna@donnasedge.com. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers.
My Towels solved the problem that we've all had with towels. You go into the stores and they feel lotiony and soft, but then you get them home and they wind dry you. That's why I made My Towels. They actually work, they're soft, and they absorb. And now I'm excited to announce 2 brand new lines of My Towels. What makes them the best towels ever is they're now made with 100% long staple Shapir cotton. This is a combed ring spun cotton that makes My Towels even softer and more absorbent than ever. And now you get a 6-piece set for an amazing introductory sale price as low as $29.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get My Towels for only $29.98. Or you can get my designer premium line for just $20 more. Either way, you save 50% now on all My Towels. They actually work. What a concept. This offer won't last long, so please order now.
mypillow.com.
At Liberty Bank, we're all about community. Whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need, toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for 2 or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.